Hi everybody, my name's Mark Hull and welcome to our virtual knowledge session. I'm sure we all wish that we could be there in person, but hopefully bear with me for the next half an hour, 20 minutes or so. And I'm going to talk to you about Swiss Re, especially a piece of our digital transformation journey in Swiss Re Group Operations, and especially how ServiceNow is helping us move along that journey with IntegrationHub. So let's get to it. Here's a little bit about me. So I work as a product manager in a function called Customer Experience and Digital Delivery in Swiss Re. My background for the last forever basically has been in financial services tech, and around the last 5 years in ServiceNow product management. I manage our ServiceNow based digital business management platform, where we take care of all the financial planning and controlling, service portfolio management, service-based costing across all of Swiss Re Group Operations. And we're doing some ventures at the moment, such as a group-wide PPM implementation. One of the cool things about that is that we're doing project management in ServiceNow, not just for IT projects, but all kinds, especially or particularly even building new buildings. We're managing that in ServiceNow as well. And actually, who are Swiss Re? We're pretty old school compared to a company like ServiceNow. We were founded in 1863, but we've got a pretty modern outlook on life. We're a big financial services provider. We operate globally. And in essence, what we do is provide insurance and risk transfer services for the insurance industry and for other large corporates. To put it briefly, our mission is to make the world more resilient. And I think given the point in time where we are now, that's particularly appropriate for every organization. But we're not here just to talk about Swiss Re's business. I want to talk to you about what we do with technology, with ServiceNow. So I want to show you first an org chart. And actually, if I was doing this presentation 5 years ago, I'd have shown you an org chart like this. Here is Swiss Re Group Operations. You can see the different divisions. We've got IT, procurement, HR, logistics, corporate real estate, and here's old school ServiceNow sitting in IT. In essence, we're an IT, ServiceNow's an IT tool owned and operated by IT for IT. But how do things look like now? Well, we've still got the same divisions in group operations. We still perform the same functions. But now we own and operate ServiceNow from an area where I work, like I said before, customer experience and digital delivery. We're the digital solution provider across all of group operations. And that includes ServiceNow-based solutions, but actually a whole host of other platforms across our operations functions. So going back about 5 years, we established an initiative in Swiss Re called Operations Inc. That's where we aim to run group operations as a whole like a business. And although we're not a profit-making business, we still have customers for that business. And our customers are all the employees of Swiss Re. And one of the activities that we did as part of Operations Inc. is look at, well, how do our customers, our employees, communicate with us? So we actually consolidated over 25 different service desks into one single entry point. That we call Contact One. And it results in a single telephone number and a single employee service portal for every employee to interact with a single service desk across the organization. So in customer experience and digital delivery, or CEDD, we have a kind of a dual mandate We manage the customer supplier interface with that single group-wide service desk function. And we also provide digital solutions to our partner divisions so they can fulfill all of our customers' needs. So I've described the organization, but what does our journey with ServiceNow look like? And I'm going to show you this because this chart's really like the last 10 years. And actually, Fred Luddy first pitched ServiceNow to us at Swiss Re before my time, about 10 years ago. And we were really interested then about routing work through IT. We wanted to capture IT-focused tickets, deal with IT requests. So that's what we went live with more than 10 years ago now in 2009. That went really well. We quickly progressed on to wanting tools to help us manage services, service management. In essence, we wanted a tool to help us implement ITIL. So we rolled out incident management, problem management, change and release management. The next level of maturity, we were looking at increased automation. ERP for IT was the hot topic 6-7 years ago. And we've done a ton of that. ServiceNow's come along on that journey with us to get our IT ecosystem much more integrated. We did a lot of automation, digitizing of workflows, but all within IT. And one of the big turning points, then going back 5 years ago in 2015, due to this Operations Inc. initiative, was when we introduced Contact One, so a ServiceNow-based service portal, that common portal for all employees. So they're coming to a ServiceNow-based portal, not just for IT help desk, but also for HR case logging, if there's facilities management issues, so light bulbs need changing above somebody's desk, then they all go to the same place. What that meant additionally on the fulfillment side is that we're rolling out ServiceNow beyond IT, and we're taking it to the other divisions in group operations to route this work through so that facilities executives and facilities management resources together with HR resources can work on cases and tasks to fulfill. And with that, we're using ServiceNow as well. The last few years, after we went through Contact One, we've gone through with request fulfillment, issue tracking. We've actually been tackling these enterprise service management initiatives. What that's meant is that we found new use cases for ServiceNow, where ServiceNow has helped us achieve our digital transformation goals. One example of that is digital business management, where we use a ServiceNow-based platform to give us a single consistent process across all of group operations for financial planning and controlling, to do service-based cost management. And that's been a really good success story, both for our achievements in group operations and for our usage of ServiceNow. So 10 years has passed on our ServiceNow journey. Let's have a bit of a where are we now moment. So in reflection, looking back over the last few years, yeah, we've made lots of progress. We've got some great wins with ServiceNow. We're using it in multiple functions, of course IT, but also extensively in other divisions. For example, you know, the enterprise service management, cross-divisional task fulfillment, digital business management, but we're also doing a lot with other platforms. We extensively use Coupa for procurement and soon contract and expense management. We also use SuccessFactors in HR. So if we're interested in improving the customer experience and making processes more efficient, continuing to route that work effectively through the organization, I don't believe the answer's to only use ServiceNow for everything, especially in a large organization. There's always other specialist platforms that come into play. We're not going to get away from that. But we do want to ensure that we have great workflows and connected data that transcends across the platforms we use in Swiss Re Group operations. So ultimately, just as our employees are not working in process and tool silos, neither should we be as a digital solution provider. We need a way to connect the dots. So what we can start to explore now, I'd actually like to move next to talk about a specific workflow, just to bring a bit of life to what I was saying there about how we use ServiceNow and how we also use some other systems in group operations. All right, here's an example of a finance and procurement based workflow. Here's our planner. He or she wants to buy some new software, and they need to budget for that. They need to procure it, and they need to ensure that everything's okay with the booking of the payment to the vendor. So our going in position, it's good. The company view, we've rolled out market leading software for each function. Yay. We've got ServiceNow in place across many areas for budget planning. We've got a market leading procurement platform in Cooper where we raise purchase orders. We've got an SAP cloud-based general ledger, which is also going out across the whole of Swiss Re Group. So the process is clear, the systems that we use are clear, everything looks good. But actually what happens with the reality? Mr. or Mrs. Planner there, they're kind of annoyed. In their daily life, yeah, although we've got these cool systems in place, they actually have to go to 3 places to do the same work. And what a waste of time. We've got issues with data quality because actually the planner is entering data in ServiceNow about the budget, which cost center to use, which vendor we're going to pay, when are we going to pay. Then they need to go to Cooper to raise a purchase order. And a lot of the information that they enter there is something that they've already put into ServiceNow. We've actually got all that information, but they're just going somewhere else to enter it. And then ultimately, they're going to another tool to check the payments. What that's resulting in is we're still routing work around with emails, checking with other people. We're tracking the status of purchase orders on Excel. We start hearing complaining, not just from the users, but from management about we need to be more efficient. So what does that mean overall? Well, actually, although the process is clear, right? It uses our high quality implementations of market leading systems, but we've still got issues related to that lack of end-to-end cross-platform digital workflow. And in this case, that's for budget planning and procurement. So how do we start solving these problems? I believe the key to solving them is that we have to start bringing our enterprise workflows to the next level. We need to look really end-to-end. We need to get everything talking to each other. And all the while, bearing in mind that we want to ensure both that efficient process and a great user experience. What we can do is leverage the Now platform to help us design a truly cross-enterprise, but also cross-platform workflow. We can make sure that that workflow transcends not just ServiceNow, but is also involving all these other related platforms. And we can achieve that by using IntegrationHub and Flow Designer. So in this case, with our budget planning and procurement workflow, what we can do is use the budget record data mastered in ServiceNow to then generate a purchase order in Cooper at the click of a button by the planner, but in ServiceNow. He doesn't have to go to the other system. He doesn't have to enter all that same information again in the other system. Now, okay, of course, there's always been ways to integrate ServiceNow with other systems, and we do that, of course. But what we've got with IntegrationHub, we've got these spokes, and they give us that super quick and easy way to get hooked into exactly what we want to do. So for example, the dynamic PO creation triggered in ServiceNow, but then executed in Coupa. And I think that's where the power of IntegrationHub and Flow Designer come into play. So for this specific workflow, I can summarize here what kind of makes up our business case. Why do we want to go ahead and do this? Generally falls into 3 key areas. We've got process agility and efficiency gains, data quality improvements, and that ultimately is leading to person hours saved. Of course, we're always striving to improve customer experience and to have that kind of underpinning everything that we aim for. And we need to make sure that we tick the box here always. So really key is here's the process efficiency. And with ServiceNow powering a cross-platform end-to-end workflow with increased automation, the process just becomes more fluid and faster. We can also integrate data into ServiceNow from the other systems, so then we can run performance analytics dashboards. What they help us do here is balance the books, where we can compare the financial plan, which is anyway mastered in ServiceNow, but also the procurement activity and the general ledger data, which is originating from other systems. We don't have to anymore go to those other systems and pull reports into Excel and bring them all together. We can just do that using PA in Now Platform. So because then we're eradicating that manual handoff as part of the workflow, the data becomes much higher quality. The number of incidents to fix bad data goes down. So person hours are actually saved in multiple areas. And that comes together, we think, for this process to give us around 1,000 hours that we save annually. So we've got less time going from system to enter data. We've also got less time chasing updates and checks around the organization manually. And then we've got less time fixing those data issues because the new process is fixing them. So with many similar cases and processes around in Swiss Re group operations, this is just one example, but we really see these cross-platform workflows and optimizations as a key part of the future of our digital transformation journey. So actually moving on specifically away from that workflow, but a little bit more before we close, showing you a bit of our roadmap of where we see some business cases related especially to IntegrationHub. And where we've got specialist systems in place, we see some potential opportunities to move towards a more integrated process with integrated workflows driven by IntegrationHub. As I mentioned already, we've got Coupa in place for procurement. We need to improve data quality around that. ServiceNow should be driving the workflows, can drive notifications and approvals, but still use our system of execution from another provider. Moving on, we've also got Adobe in place for document signing, and that's a best practice provider, but especially related to signing of documents. But we have a need that's extensively used in HR to actually have a platform to help us manage workflows around those documents. So we've got a few things in mind with the Adobe IntegrationHub spoke and ServiceNow. We're also big users of SAP. We've got success factors in place in HR. We've got an SAP-based ERP, and in some ways they're already living separate lives, and we see some exciting opportunities to bring these platforms more closer together with the enterprise service management capabilities of ServiceNow. So in summary, I'm really excited about our future in Swiss Re group operations. What I think we can continue to do is really drive and shape our digital transformation activities using the Now platform, taking it to the next level, and especially harnessing the power of IntegrationHub what we can do is bring to life more digital workflows across a multitude of our strategic platforms. And normally we'd all meet for a drink now and a good chat about what we're doing in our different organizations. We can't do that, but I'm excited to hear from you. Please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or email and continue the discussion. So thanks again, and bye for now.